Recently I purchased a few items from Ali-Express in a sale that they had on. The items are in front of me right here. So we've got a digital microscope, a mini digital microscope, a cooling stroke extraction fan, and a digital tweezer. Over the coming weeks or possibly even months, I'm going to do some mini reviews on these items. And to start with, I'm going to choose this mini digital microscope. So let's go ahead and do a little mini review on this. As I said at the beginning of the video, I purchased all of these items, including this one myself, so there's no promotions. I intend to do an honest as I can review on this item, so let's open it up and see what's inside. Okay, so we have the unit itself, a USB-C cable and a small instruction manual. Has English, German, Italian, French, Spanish and Japanese and Chinese. So, thank you for purchasing this device. This product is complex to use, so please read the manual in detail, understand to operate the microscope before using it. Please fully charge the device before first use. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and charge the device. So I'll plug this guy in to there, and when it's charged I will come back. So I've got the device on charge. While it's doing that, we'll read through the rest of the relevant parts of the instruction manual. It says, for the first use, please format the memory card. Now, I have noticed that it does actually come with a memory card, which is quite unbelievable for the price that I paid for it. Let's just see what capacity that is. That is 64GB memory card. Wow. My fingers don't enable me to push that in, so I'll just get a gadget. Right, so number 3, this product does not require adjusting the focal length. When using it, the surface of the object to be observed must be flat to achieve a clear image. So I assume that means that you've got to hold it directly over the item that you want to see, which could be a bit limiting in the environment that I like to use it, but anyway. The device cannot accurately read the microscope magnification. It is a combination of digital and optical magnification microscope. The specific magnification effect is subject to the actual picture taken. Number 5, please do not touch the lens or other optical parts with your hands. And number 6, do not disassemble. Okay, so we've got a small picture here with the overview of the functions and the buttons. So it's got a 2.5-inch IPS display, a power button and an optical magnifier on the front. And then on one side we've got the charging port, which is obviously what I'm plugged into here, TF card slot, power light and a reset button. And on the other side we've got a plus and minus button, which we'll go through those in a moment, and we have a capture button and a review button. Okay, button functions explained. While it's off, long press power on to turn it on. In any interface, long press power off to turn it off. In review mode, long press review button and short press to confirm deletion after delete icon appears. Review button, review stroke delete. In observation mode, short press enter review. In review mode, short press exit review. In review mode, long press to display delete icon. If a new storage card is inserted and formatting information appears, please confirm long press confirm card formatting. Capture button. In observation mode, short press capture. In observation mode, long press record. So if you're in observation mode, basically you press a short press to take a photo and a long press to record a video and a short press to end the recording. In review mode, a short press to exit the review. Then the up and down button, so it's zoom out, adjust light brightness and previous image. So in observation mode, short press to zoom out, long press to decrease display brightness. In review mode, short press to see previous image. And then the down button is basically the same, zoom in, increase light. It says increase for the down button. Anyway, we'll see about that. And in review mode is the next image. Charging light, when charging the indicator light is solid red, and when fully charged it is solid green. Reset hole, in case of abnormal freezing of the microscope, use a fine pointed object to poke this hole to force a shutdown. So in other words, if it crashes you need to reset it. That's very confidence inspiring. A maximum of 64GB memory card in the memory card slot. And the charging port supports charging and data transmission. Oh, didn't know that. So, model introduction. The device is divided into 3 modes. Device observation mode, connect to a computer for simultaneous charging and usage. Memory card reading mode, connect the computer to TF for memory reading and writing and formatting. Computer observation mode, connect to computer and use through computer software for more intuitive large screen experience. So number 1, device observation mode, connect the microscope to the computer via USB cable, select device observation mode and then press confirm button, use the device while charging. Memory card reading mode, the product comes with a built-in storage space capable of storing approximately 100 photos. Computer observation mode, when using computer observation mode, some functions of the device will be unavailable, which is normal. In computer observation mode, the device will display a black screen, which is normal and not a product issue. After connection, if the software displays no image, try repeatedly plugging and unplugging the USB data cable in the back of the computer. Okay, operating system, so it supports Windows Vista, XP 7, 8, 10, 11. Bit of a funny order that they've got those in, because obviously XP came before Vista. Software installation for Windows 7, 8 systems, download and install the AMCAP software. For Windows 10, search directly for the software Windows Camera. Okay, so use the camera app in Windows 10, or download the application Smart Camera for your computer. Download link is in the manual here. Connect the USB cable to the microscope, USB port in the back of the computer, and hold the power button, turn on the device, select PC camera mode. Different software is recommended for different Windows systems. Please download the appropriate software for your system. Cool, and it's got some examples, and then it goes on through Mac, which I don't have a Mac that I'm going to use. Charging instructions, format memory card. So this shows you how to do that. Okay, technical parameters. So screen, 2-inch IPS screen, 2 megapixel, 500 times magnification, image format is a JPG, video formats AVI, focus mode autofocus 0mm. Not so happy about that. Light source 8 LED, battery capacity 600 mAh, operating time 1.5 hours, charging time 1.5 hours. That means I'm going to have quite a big delay while it's charging. And supported operating systems is basically Windows XP up to Windows 11 and Mac OS X 11 or higher. And it's got some troubleshooting instructions in the back, and then we go into German. Okay, so I will finish let it charging, and then I will come back when it has fully charged. Okay, some time has passed and the device is now fully charged. I'll just put a filter over the screen so you can actually see that on camera. So there we go, 100%. So we're now ready to give it a little bit of a test. I think I'll start just by using the device itself, and I'll just do it on a couple of PCBs just to see how it's operating, and then we'll connect it up to the PC. We'll look at the images on the screen, and then we'll do a couple of recordings and look at those and see how they come out. Right, so the first thing I've got here is an old NVIDIA video card. So let's turn the unit on. Can't actually read those at all. So let's increase the illuminations. Okay, that's better. So we can see that's a 3014. We've got a larger IC over here. That's an SC1102. So it is actually very good, but I would say that you do have to hold it right next to the object. So it's on 1 times magnification. Let's just turn that the other way up so we can actually put the board the other way up as well. So we can see the component identifications. Try zoom. So it goes up to 4 times zoom. Okay, as it says. So let's just have a look at the brightness function. So I've set it to level 1 and the zoom on level 1. Now, so to increase the brightness, although in the manual it said the down button increased the brightness, clearly that's a mistake, because that is not how it works. The up button, as you would expect, increases the brightness, so you have to press and hold. Then it goes to level 2, and then press and hold again for level 3. It has kind of got an auto exposure as well. So the brightness is actually very dim now, but it's still the auto exposure is still working quite well. So I think probably number 2 is possibly the optimum one to have it on, and then we can go for the zoom. So it was a long press on the plus and minus buttons for the brightness, and then a short press for the zoom. So it's zoom in 2 times, 3 times, and 4 times. So if we go to the other side of the card, the big problem here is literally the focal distance, because you physically, if you've got a chip that's a bit higher up, you physically can't get low enough to be able to focus correctly. So I can only focus when I'm past the higher chip here, and certainly if you've got some capacitors or any other components that are sticking up in the air, you just cannot see the PCB at all. So that is quite a limiting factor as far as PCB investigation is concerned. Obviously, if you can get the device directly on top of the component, then it's pretty good. But if you can't, then you're a little bit on the buggered side. And just as a comparison, I've got a British £10 note here, and we can actually zoom into that guy. And, there's one of the Queen's eyes, for example. And we can see some text. Bank of England. So here I've got some surface mount transistors still in the packaging. I just want to see if you can actually read the values on those in the packet, and as you can, that's a 1 AM clearly. So that is actually quite good. The reflection from the cover on the packaging doesn't overly overpower the camera. You can still read the markings, so that is I like that, that's good. And here I've got some other components. So I've got some op amps that are in a plastic bag, we can see those, and then we've got some voltage regulators which are in the plastic case, and that does not enable me to read those. Can't actually get focus, or nearly, but not quite. And as a final test, I've got a device that's actually in an anti-static bag here, and surprisingly you are actually able to see through the anti-static bag and read the components. Look at the components. So that's pretty good. So I'll go ahead and connect it up to the PC now. So I'm just going to plug it into USB. Okay, it's going upside down. So it says device observation mode, memory card reading mode, and computer observation mode. So I think I will go to computer observation mode. And then we'll go to screen capture. We'll open the camera app. Okay, it's connected. So let's see what we can see. There's a resistor. It's very difficult to get a good focus on this camera. Anything other than a flat PCB, even this guy which has got very short through holes sticking through, it makes it very difficult to get a focus. The only area where I can really get a good focus is where there's no through hole components at all. There, for example, it's a 0 ohm resistor. Another one. Even there, the camera itself is just on the legs of a through hole, and I just can't get it into focus. Let's just try another PCB. Let's go back to the NVIDIA card. So that is mainly surface mount. There's a capacitor. There's a resistor. Transistor. But as you can see, it's very difficult to get anything in focus. That's some legs of an IC there. You can see those quite well actually. So this also came up as a USB drive. So the files that are recorded onto the SD card, I assume that this would come up as a drive even without the SD card, because it does say it's got some internal memory for 100 photos, I believe. But anyway, I've got the SD card in there, so I have taken a few images which we can have a look at now. And I did also record a short video from the device also. So that image is taken from the device onto the... Why don't I have VLC on here? I don't know. Anyway. So here's the video. As I say, this is recorded directly from the device itself, and I'm just playing it back on a screen capture. As you can see, it is very difficult to get a good focus on PCBs with this device, especially PCBs that are populated. If you just had an unpopulated PCB and you wanted to inspect the tracks, or you had purely surface mount, which are all pretty much the same. So the last thing I want to show you with this, I do have a microscope calibration ruler. as you can see here, and I will just record I'll record this directly onto the microscope and I'll play that video back. Height, then that would be okay, but components that are at different elevations off the PCB, it's very difficult to get a good focus with the device. So the first thing we'll look at is the grid. Now, according to the calibration ruler, the pitch of the squares is 0.1 of a millimeter. So the scale 0 to 1 there is actually 1 millimeter that you're looking at. And then I do that on the different magnification factors. So this is 1 times maybe not. We'll look at the different thicknesses of the line. So this is 0.7, 0.5, 0.3, and then we'll go to 0.1, which is that one, and 0.2, which is that one. And then we'll come over to the coordinate grid, and again it's saying the divisions are 0.1 of a millimeter, and again we'll do that on the different zoom factors. So that should be zoom level 1. Interestingly, it doesn't actually record the different zooms because I am zooming on that video and there is no change in the image. So interestingly, when recording a video on the device itself, it doesn't record the zoom. So when I was recording that last video, I was actually zooming in. So I'll just show you that here now. So this is basically what I did. So on 1 time zoom there, and we go to 2 times, 3 times, and 4 times. Just as a side note, I did notice that the device gets quite warm during operation, so I thought I'd get the camera out, and it's got a hotspot which is currently 44.5 degrees on that side. .44 degrees on that side. So it's not actually the LEDs that are getting warm, it's something inside the bezel close to the on-off switch. So in summary then, the device itself works absolutely fine. The magnification is really quite good. The recording function is good, although it doesn't record when you zoom. The still image function is good. The adjustment of the lighting has 3 levels, that's good. The actual magnifier itself, the optical magnifier, is okay as long as you keep it very close. So for certain applications this device is absolutely great, but for me personally I would want to use this to inspect components on PCBs, tracks on PCBs, through holes, that kind of thing, and for that purpose it is very limited because the focal length is just so short that you cannot have the microscope any distance above the object you're looking at all, maybe 1 millimeter, and then it goes out of focus. So if you're looking at PCBs that have components on them, then it makes it very difficult to get a good focus on a wide variety of components. I think if you're just looking at surface mount resistors, surface mount capacitors, possibly surface mount transistors, and you have no other components directly in the way of the microscope itself, it's acceptable. But if you have any through hole components mounted close by, any components that stand off the board further in the area, then it's very difficult to get a focus on the device. So I'd like to see this device with an adjustable focus, and then I think it will be a far more practical and useful device for me in particular. So I hope you enjoyed that one. If you're liking what I'm doing, please subscribe to the channel. It would be much appreciated. And if you like the video, please like it. Happy to answer any comments you may have.